Yeah, clear the runway. You know exactly who it is.
Phat Empire.
We live. Turn the volume up. Let's roll.
April screaming thumb. Yeah, we took the long road. System reboot. Watch the payload load. Phat Airlines. Yeah, the namesake. Whole weight. Sharper than a razor. We decide to fake. World of airports, yeah, we dialed in tight. Every single landing, under stadium light. Contract stacking, yeah, the numbers align. We been in the shadows, now it's shine time. Put the hat on, yeah, lock the route. Hands on deck, leave no doubt. The push was loud, the room came through. Concord at the gate, man, that was you. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the gate, the Phat brand. Giveaways flowing, see the crowd leaning. Building up their empire, let the games begin. Paula had mindset, eyes on the grid, moving like a king, keep the crown here. No sloppy caps, yeah, the data remain. Operating levels plus the regular lane. Concord up by the roar of the coup, we hit the target zone. Yeah, we coming for you, puzzle to the porch, yeah, we run the map. Every single drop, put the city on the lap. Put the hat on, yeah, lock the road, hands on deck, leave no doubt. The push was loud, the room came through. Concord at the gate, man, that was you. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the game, the Phat brand. One dealer, 30. Check the clock on the wall. Same seat, same pulse. We answer the call. Every Saturday, we hold the line strong. You been on hype, we put the track on. Build it from the ground, now we touching the sky. Level up the game, keep the rhythm real high. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the gate, the Phat brand.
Yeah.
Clear skies, Phat Empire. We just getting warmed up. Check the manifest, check the stats. Every week, same time, same focus.
Yeah, clear the runway. You know exactly who it is.
Phat Empire.
We live. Turn the volume up. Let's roll.
April screaming thumb. Yeah, we took the long road. System reboot. Watch the payload load. Phat Airlines, yeah, the namesake. Whole weight, sharper than a razor. We decide to fake. World of airports, yeah, we dialed in tight. Every single landing, under stadium light. Contract stacking, yeah, the numbers align. We been in the shadows, now it's shine time. Put the hat on, yeah, lock the route. Hands on deck, leave no doubt. The push was loud, the room came through. Concord at the gate, man, that was you. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the gate, the Phat brand. Giveaways flowing, see the crowd leaning. Building up their empire, let the games begin. Paula had mindset, eyes on the grid, moving like a king, keep the crown here. No sloppy caps, yeah, the data remain. Operating levels plus the regular lane. Concord up by the roar of the coup, we hit the target zone. Yeah, we coming for you, puzzle to the porch, yeah, we run the map. Every single drop, put the city on the lap. Put the hat on, yeah, lock the road, hands on deck, leave no doubt. The push was loud, the room came through. Concord at the gate, man, that was you. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the game, the Phat brand. One dealer, 30. Check the clock on the wall. Same seat, same pulse. We answer the call. Every Saturday, we hold the line strong. You been on hype, we put the track on. Build it from the ground, now we touching the sky. Level up the game, keep the rhythm real high. Phat Airlines, we taking flight. Steady hands, we doing it right. From the tarmac up to the stars. Saturday night, the world is ours. Phat Airlines, yeah, we on the rise. Look at the pilot, look in his eyes. Clear the runway, watch us land. That's in the gate, the Phat brand.
Yeah.
Clear skies, Phat Empire. We just getting warmed up. Check the manifest, check the stats. Every week, same time, same focus. Phat Airlines, we out. Phat Airlines. We out.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? This is Jeremy and Phat Airlines, and today, first, sorry for the delayed start. Had some technical difficulties, couldn't get my sound working, but I am here. What is good, guys? Thanks for being here. Today we are here for another stream. Every Saturday we go live at 11 or 11:30 this month, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So we're here playing some World of Airports. We got a lot of news today because a new developer blog just released this morning. So we're gonna go over the developer blog. Originally, we're gonna go over like how to make more money in World of Airports, but we have so much information in the developer blog that it's pretty much going to take up the entire stream. We're also playing our stream only account, Phat Empire. So we are continuing our progress because during the streamathon, which was in the month of April, we made a lot of progress last month. So we're just continuing that progress so that way we can continue and try to unlock our next airports in the game. So thanks for being here, guys. What's up? What's good? We have DevBlog 32, which talks about what's happening after World of Airports update 3.5, and we're gonna go through that in just a moment. Some really good stuff in there. Yeah, there's talk about alliances. There's a quick section about alliances in there. There is a section about liveries, custom liveries, which I know a lot of us are looking forward to. There's also like some other sections about like other Zurich. There's like some cool new features that are coming out to like the next airports that are getting remodeled. So it's an exciting time. I didn't like closely read everything. I just kind of skimmed it to see if this was something that like would take the entire stream or not, and it will take up most of the stream. So we are going to be here for maybe about like 2 hours today, just to kind of go over the World of Airports dev blog and see what's coming in the future. But before we get into it, I want to say what's up to everybody who's here, because you guys make this stream worth it. You guys make this stream exciting. So thank you guys so much for being here. What is good, Voitando? Thank you, Raptor, for being first. We have Sammy here. We have Ginger Jesus. We have Educate and Zyrox. We have Dev Zone Games. We have Magis Guys and Mr. Rage. We have Jan Haas here as well. We have Ion Aviations. We have TJ the Greatest, Zelugak, and Made to Move. Thanks, guys, for being here. Swedish Fishing's here. Euroland Airways and Sammy's here. Caker's here. Cheshire Orange is here as well. What is good, guys? Thank you so much for being here. We have Josh here, hockey fan, and Kronstadt. How do you guys like that new intro song? I'm trying out new intro songs just to see which one like has like the best vibes with the community. I like this new intro song. Yo, Yoda, thank you for resubscribing. Mert, thank you for, I didn't even see Mert, but I see it here now, right? Where is it? I'm at Mert K. Thank you for resubscribing for 44 months, bro. Thank you so much, man. You've been here since like the beginning, man. Really appreciate that. Raptor with the 10 stream streak, Kronstadt with the 45 stream streak, and Educate with the 30. Let's go. We got Hyperactive with the L-Plane contract, Sloppy with the 47 months. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sloppy. Well, let's see. Who got it was Hyperactive, right, with the L-Plane contract? Yes, it was. Awesome. It's always tough though with a cargo plane at Muscat, because cargo planes, we only got especially the larger ones, we only have like the 3 cargo stands for larger planes. So we sometimes get backed up there. Right over here. I try to make sure I like prioritize these planes, but I also sometimes forget. What's up, Snurk? We got Kamikaze, Hyperactive, and Foxtrot Aviations here. Smoothie's here. Finally able to stay up for live streams. Welcome, bro. Thank you. Yoda's back after 1 month of the game. Nice. Welcome back, Yoda. Yeah, we missed you, man. But I think I think you left a message. I wasn't sure if it was in VIP chat or if it was in player news, but you definitely left a message there because a lot of us were wondering where you went. But thanks to your message, we knew what was going on. So I'm glad you're back. What's good, Hammy? What's up, Ruben? Cookie Cooker, nice to see you as well. Who else? Darius Pilot likes the previous song. Gotcha. We're gonna keep trying different ones to see which one kind of goes with people. This one I was listening to the car ride to the gym. I was listening to it in the car ride home. Man, I was vibing with this one, but like I also like that. That's the kind of style of music I grew up with. So it's like, all right, this is like what I like to listen to. So it vibed with me. So I was like, yeah, this is the one we're gonna go with today. We have Sloppy created a few. I created a few different songs. Some of them like are good, but then at the end it starts like it starts going into like AI stuff. Like it starts reading my prompt, like it says like a beat drop or something like that. Like, no, man, like that, those are instructions. You're not supposed to say those words. Yeah, health issues, yeah, Yoda. Hope everything's well, man. Hope everybody's doing healthy. I know this Saturday we're here. Next Saturday we're gonna be live, but the 23rd we're not going to be here. I'm gonna be on vacation in 2 weeks. So next Saturday I'll be here, but in 2 Saturdays, which is May 23rd, I won't be here. I'll be on vacation, guys. I'll be with the family. We'll be in Mexico, having a nice grand time. It'll be my baby daughter's first vacation, first time traveling, first time in another country too. And she's only like 9 or 10 months old, man. It'll be fantastic. Let's see here. Did I just hear Ruben? Yeah, man. Ruben's on YouTube, bro. Educate asks, what airport should you play? I don't know. Whatever one you have to level up. That's the one I like to go to. The ones that need to level up. All right, let's get into the DevBlog, because I know that's why that's why some of you guys are here. A lot of you guys also had a chance to read it on your own. But we're gonna multitask here. So we're gonna have world airports on in the backwards. We're gonna have world airports on in the background. That way, the planes can continue to be handled. We're gonna be switching into world airports while we're reading the DevBlog, because the way world airports works is we can't. The game doesn't continue progress. It doesn't, like, the planes don't handle if the game is not active, right? And that's a big problem on iPhone and iPad, or phones and tablets, because that means World of Airports has to be in the front of your screen. But with the iPad, there's like a multitasking mode we could turn on, which I turned on already. And what that allows us to do, I'm trying to open it. There it is. It allows me to open up other apps while having World of Airports still in the background, technically, but still running. You see how the estimation clock over here is still running? That's because World of Airports is still running in the game. So we're going to open up the DevBlog. DevBlog 32, which came out today, 6 hours ago, by the developer Kubasan. What was that? Dando, thank you for the follow, bro. Guys, I'm going to be ignoring chat for a little bit, but I'm gonna try to read it while we're talking about updates, so I could get your guys' feedback too. Okay, so hi everyone. It has been a little while since the release of update 3.5.0, so I think it's a good time to sit down, look back a bit, and also write about what is happening behind the scenes. This update was important for them, for Flyboys, because it was not only about adding new content in several areas, it showed the direction in which we want to move world airports in the future. Excuse me. I can't get my music working, but I don't think you guys could hear it on stream anyways. The main focus of 3.5.0, a new airport quality standard, more realistic runway operations, the A330 family, dynamic shadows, and the first visible steps towards deeper aircraft customization. So in World of Airport 3.5.0, we got the Innsbruck remake. With the latest update, we completely rebuilt Innsbruck Airport. This was not just a small refresh or a few new details. Innsbruck was rebuilt from the ground up by our internal team, and the goal was to set a new visual and functional standard for the future airports. Good. I was saying that when that update came out, I was like, yeah, the fact that they're updating Innsbruck is setting a standard, and they never said it until now that was like a standard that they were setting upon themselves. But I kind of had it's kind of understood, and that was like my assumption too. When you're updating the first airport in the game, the airport that everybody gets when they download the airport, when they download the game, everybody gets that airport for free. they have to, like, that is the standard that's being set. So that makes a lot of sense. If you remember the old inn and compare it with the new one, I hope you can feel how much work went into it. We spent hundreds of hours on new textures, small details, terrain work, airport objects, atmosphere, and general visual polish. Yeah, Innsbruck is very, very beautiful. I could say that. And it does function well, but it's also not a large airport, so it's hard to like say, is it functioning well, or is it like just because it's a small airport. Personally, I have to say that I'm really happy with the result. This is Kubazan. This kind of update gives me a lot of motivation because it shows what we can achieve when our tools, experience, and internal standards move forward. Nice. Innsbruck's not only a remake, for us it's a benchmark for how future airport updates and new airports should feel. At the same time, it does not mean that we will forget about the older airports. Similar to aircraft, we want to gradually refresh existing content over time. The next airport in this direction should be Prague, from which our Czech point of view deserves this treatment the most right now. Awesome. Yeah, so that's cool, right? That's one confirmation here. I think we kind of got like hints at it in other avenues, but the most official avenue here is, like, the developer blog is that Prague is going to be the next airport to get a airport refresh, which probably means landings from both directions, right? So let's keep reading. Landings from both directions. One of the biggest gameplay changes at Innsbruck is that the runway now works from both directions. This may sound like a small technical detail, but for gameplay, it changes a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna pause right there because that's really true. We've been talking about that a lot the last few weeks because at Innsbruck. Actually, let me show you. I have Innsbruck open on my other account here. So at Innsbruck, right, we have Innsbruck here. This is my PC account, my Google Play account that you're seeing here. So at Innsbruck, right, airplanes used to always land from this direction, from left to right over here, right? So from this runway 8, airplanes used to always, right? Hold on. No, sorry, I'm wrong. Airplanes used to always land at 26. So they would land from right to left, right? So now with Innsbruck, planes can land the other way as well, right? So you'll see here, this airplane is now landing from the mountains, which was never happened before 3.5. So this is such a huge thing. I mean, it does change the way the game works, right? Because, like, in my opinion, this is the best runway at Innsbruck now. You don't have to. You're not in a hurry for planes to take off because you have such a long taxiway here. I have 5 planes waiting to take off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 planes waiting to take off, and I'm not in a hurry to get them to line up immediately because they're not blocking my planes like they would if they were right here. They would be blocking so many planes from getting to their stands. So really a cool update in my opinion, and it does make Innsbruck a lot more fun, especially when you have this runway that's active. I'm going to keep reading the dev blog. Let's hide this Innsbruck for now. We're going to keep reading the dev blog. Let's bring it back up. The airport feels more alive and less predictable, and players need to adapt more to real conditions. For those who are not sure how it works, when you start the airport, we check the current wind and use it to set the active runway direction. The landing direction does not change during the active game session, but after restarting the airport or the game, it can change again depending upon current weather conditions. You can see the active landing direction directly in the game by clicking on the weather panel. Alright, so the weather panel, you can click on up here. You click on the weather right here, the weather, and that gives you the time and weather, that weather panel that they're talking about, which is also like this right here. So you see you have the active runway. It tells you what the active runways are. Important detail, the runway direction is based on current wind conditions when the airport session starts. It does not randomly change while you are already playing. So yeah, once you log in, you're in that runway for the duration of that gaming session. There's no way to change your runway while you're in that session. The only way is to exit the airport and to come back. But this is exactly the type of feature that they like. It's simple for players to understand, but it adds a lot of realism and variety. Future runway selection. The next step, okay, this is interesting, right? The next step we would like to add is giving players more control over which runway an aircraft should use for departure or arrival. This does not mean free selection of any direction. Okay, the runway direction will still always depend on current wind conditions. Players will not be able to ignore the wind and freely choose the opposite direction, but they should have more control over runway assignment where the airport layout allows it. Okay. This will work differently from airport to airport. For example, Prague will still have a limitation where only one of its 2 runways can be active at the same time. On the other hand, Zurich will offer completely unique possibilities for runway combinations, which should make it one of the most interesting airports in terms of runway operations and traffic planning. Yo, all right. Can somebody send me like a map of Zurich so I can see what they're talking about? I don't think they include like a map of Zurich, right? I guess this is a map right here. Here we go. So it looks like there's 2 runways, right? You got runway 14 and 32, and you got runway 16 and 34. So it sounds like to me, you're not going to be able to change if you're using runway 14 or runway 16, or if you're using runway 32 or runway 34. That's always dependent upon wind. But you could probably select, we're going to have to keep reading, but you could probably select which runway airplanes are going to land on, right? So, hey, I want this airplane to land on runway 16, and I want that airplane to land on 14. All right, Voitando sent me one. Cool. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is another cool one. So, also got runway, oh, there's another runway right here I missed. Cool. So, then you got another runway right here. So, probably, interesting. Let's keep reading. Let's see what we got. See what we got. All right. That's I'm gonna pause for a second because that sounds pretty interesting, because that does sound like a gameplay update, because then you're gonna have to, like, it's a little bit more strategy that might have to go into like playing the game. It's not like you just assign a gate and then that's it, you're done. You probably have to assign a runway if you want, I guess. Well, let's actually keep reading. All right, this is one of the reasons why preparing airports for both direction operations takes much more time than before. It is not only about the runway itself, but also about taxiway logic, stand routing, arrival paths, departure paths, and all the small details that make the airport work correctly. Zurich is next. It's probably not a big secret anymore that the next playable airport will be Zurich. Interestingly, Zurich is currently ranked 14th in our airport voting on the forum. So while it's not the very top of the list, it's still clearly one of the airports many players would like to see in the game. Another important thing about our version of Zurich is that we are not building it only as it looks today. We are also looking closely at the airport's near future development. Zurich Airport is preparing a major redevelopment of its central infrastructure, including a new Dock A, a new tower, and related apron base infrastructure. Since this is one of the most interesting planned airport projects in Europe, we decided to build our Zurich version with this future direction in mind. Our goal is not only to recreate the current airport layout, but also to create a version of Zurich that reflects where the real airport is heading. It gives us a chance to make Zurich feel fresh, modern, and a little bit forward-looking, while still being based on real plans and real airport development. Even though the original 3D model did not start fully in-house, our internal team has taken it over and brought it up to the new standard we introduced with the Innsbruck remake. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's pretty cool. Like, that means that they have another team, like they pretty much like they pretty much contracted out where they have another team, essentially external team, working on creating like the base of the airport, and then they finish it over. So that's pretty cool. This is also why development now takes more time than before. With the new level of detail, future-looking terminal changes, and support for landings and takeoffs from both directions, the whole airport process becomes much more demanding. I wonder if they're gonna talk about, like, is 4 airports a year no longer possible because this is like all these changes? Like, should we not expect 4 airports a year at all? Let's keep reading though. From the taxiway logic point of view, it almost feels like building 2 airports at the same time. So are we going to expect only 2 airports a year? Let's keep reading. As part of our new approach, we also want to understand each airport as much as possible before bringing it into the game. That is why part of our team visited Zurich in person. That's cool, because I mean, if you look at social media, a lot of social media, like, you got people all over the world who play this game, and for some people, I mean, especially like, for some people, that is like their home airport, right? So they actually go to that airport often, and then like they'll post on social media. They probably post on the forum and other places that like something isn't correct, and they try to make sure, like, you know, it's real to life. So by able to go visit, it probably is good. UJ asked, it gives me the question, when the parallel runway is ready, then we'll probably have 2 runways in operation. I mean, it depends on how what the operations look like in real life, right? Here's some pictures of them visiting it in real life. Yeah, we saw that in on social media, on Instagram too. Our 3D artist Tomas, our new airport team member Ruda, who actually flew for the first time in his life, and Hansa, who works on the aircraft models, liveries, and is also a passionate plane spotter, went there to explore the airport, take references, and better understand how the place feels in reality. Zurich is not just another airport. Its runway layout gives us a chance to bring much more interesting runway combinations into gameplay. For me, this is the correct direction. If we want airports to feel more realistic and more interesting to operate, this is exactly the kind of work we need to do. Alright, so couple things here, right? One thing is we're gonna have completely we're gonna be able to operate multiple runways, different directions. The different directions are going to be based on the wind, but they also mentioned here what am I saying? They should have more control over runway assignment where the airport layout allows it. So that is pretty interesting. And this is an airport layout that would allow it if, I'm guessing, if runway... Why can't I zoom now? If it's runway 14 or runway 16 that's in use, right? So if those two... like if it's runway 10, I think that's what it is. If it's runway 10, I don't think it's gonna work. But runway 14 and 16, it would work. So I wonder how, like, and then they said this is going to change the way it takes to it's going to make operating airports more interesting. So we'll see what it looks like. All right, A330 family. Actually, before we go into A330 family, let's see what you guys are saying in chat. When is the next update? I don't think they give us an update time frame, a date. You know, unofficially on the forum or like on like I think on Discord, they mentioned the goal was to get it out by the end of May, but I don't think in the DevBlog they mentioned any kind of release time frame for the next update. So it's kind of hard to like tell you for sure. Because like this is their opportunity to kind of like officially like say it, right? Because the DevBlog is like the official, you know, the official message essentially. So we'll have to keep reading and see if it says anything. But when I skimmed it over, I don't think it said anything. Raptor says, like at IAD where there is parallel runways, you'll be able to choose. Yeah, that's what I get when it comes to the runway choices. You don't get to choose the wind, but you get to choose which runway planes are landing at. So will Prague have 2 runways in operation? I mean, that could be possible, but not the 2 runways that are currently in the game. Even though only one that's in use, both of those runways would not be able to be in use at the same time, because that would not be allowed. Let's see here. TJ Bay, what's good, says there will be multiple active runways, and you'll be able to choose which of the active runways a plane uses, as long as there is a taxi path. Yep, that makes sense. Like, as long as that plane can land on that runway, right? And then that's part of the I guess the complicated part that the devs are running into, because they have to create that path for every single runway for every single plane as well. So that makes sense. Let's see. Raptor says nothing about generic airports, which is surprising. I'm guessing you must have already read it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like the whole point to generic airports was so they could release more airports. So have they given up on that? I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But you're right. They haven't really talked too much about it. So it's like, all right. How do we feel about generic airports? Kamikaze says very interesting to see. What's up, Hanif? Tondo, what's good, says it'll probably mean that you will not be able to choose what side they land, but be able to choose which of the crossed ones will be landed on. You will not be able to choose on what side they land, but be able to choose which crossed ones they'll be landed on. I'm not understanding that, but maybe we're saying the same thing, because the wind direction chooses which direction you're coming in from, right? That's all based on wind, and then whatever. Nurk says, I think that theoretically the update might be in summer, not sure. Lugga says, what even are these generic airports? So generic airports are supposed to be the airports that they function as a playable airport, but they aren't as detailed, they aren't detailed as a normal airport. So they're just gonna have like a basic layout, probably basic terminals and basic gates, basic equipment, nothing that's personal, or nothing that's, I don't know if personalized, customized to the airport itself. So you know how like Innsbruck has like yellow buses, and like the fire, like you have buses that are like moving around and the cars that are moving around. All those little details are not going to be there on generic airports. We can talk more about generic airports after we talk about the DevBlog, because like there are a lot of places where I think they went wrong with generic airports. Like the fact is, they're making us pay gold planes for generic airports, but not for main airports. It's kind of like it could be a very confusing decision for a lot of players. And in some ways, it actually makes more sense for them to charge us for main airports and not for generic airports, right? Because more effort and more work is going into generic airport, or into normal airports, than in generic airports. But because of the way the game is currently structured, that's kind of like impossible, or not impossible, but it would probably cause a bigger backlash if they did it that way. But we can talk more about generic airports later. There's just so many things that they haven't like talked about, but it's supposed to be a way for them to release more destinations for playable airports, without having to like build it out, but also to see which airports are more popular for people to play, right? So like that way they know which airports to actually build out, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that at all. They haven't even talked about it. All right, but let's continue reading the DevBlog, because let me see here. What's up, Mike? Mike Hallex? Raptor says generic airports don't have a custom layout. Basically, it's like the same layout for every generic airport. Well, that's what it's supposed to be, right? We haven't had an actual second generic airport to see if that's actually what it's going to happen, you know. Hard to tell. All right, we have to start handling. All right, A330 family update 3.5.0 also brought the complete A330 family. This was a very important aircraft release for us because the A330, especially the Neo version, was one of the most requested aircraft types in the community. We also managed to add landing gear wheel tilt during landing. It is a small detail, but these are exactly the details that slowly push the whole game closer to feeling what we want. Because the A330 and the A340 share many common elements, the next logical aircraft coming to the game is the A340. We saw those on social media. And I have to say, I'm personally looking forward to it a lot. It is a beautiful aircraft, and it will include all the features introduced with the A330, and it will also bring one completely new system that is extremely important to the future of the game. Alright, cool. Now, cool. Makes sense, you know, if they have all the tools from the A330, let's update the A340. But one thing I keep noticing here, and I don't know, like maybe those of us who want gameplay updates just need to be louder, because they keep, like, they mentioned this multiple times. One of the most requested aircraft types in the community. Over here they mention ranked 14th in our airport voting on the forum. So like, maybe those of us who want gameplay updates just need to be as loud as the people who are talking about aircraft and realism. Maybe we just gotta be louder. All right, but let's just keep reading, because some of these things might be addressed later on. I like Ultra asked, did I even read it? I skimmed it because I didn't want to. I like my reactions to be like legit and like not scripted, especially when it comes to dev blogs. Like, there's no reason for me to have a scripted response. It's like it is what it is. And plus, I want to read your guys' responses too. Let me see what you guys are saying. Probably must have felt good that you got a free stream topic. Yeah, it was pretty nice. But I was ready to talk about profit today. I'm ready. Actually, the stream after the update comes out, we're gonna talk about my suggestions, or ways that I would improve World of Airports, and ways that, you know, you guys would improve it as well. You know, so not just me, but the community. Oh, I forgot to check. Oops. Sorry, Kaker, that took a while. My bad. 22 minutes. My fault, bro. Alright, we're playing World of Airports too, guys. So I gotta make sure we're handling planes. Otherwise, we're never gonna make progress on this account. Alright, parametric custom liveries. I don't know. What does parametric mean? Relating to or expressed in terms of parameters. Oh, cool. What a great definition. Using the word in your definition. I would get yelled at in school for that, guys. I would get yelled at in school. They would tell me, don't use the definition. Don't use the word in the definition. How does this help me? Electronics, relating to or denoting a process in which amplification or frequency conversion is obtained using a device modulated by a pumping frequency. No, that's not it. All right. All right. Guys, what is up with the internet? How are you going to define parametric using parameters? All right. Oh my gosh. I guess we got to look up the word parameter too. How about we just ask AI? There we go. Let's go to Google. Here we go. Parametric refers to a system, model, or equation divided by a set of independent variables known as parameters, which dictate behavior, shape, or characteristics of an object. It implies that relationships are established by rules and variables rather than fixed absolute dimensions. Oh, so, okay. That is more like it. It did use the word parameters in there, though. Rabbit hole of definitions. I know, for real, just to find us. Let me see. Oh, Darius, you put the definition in here? Let me see what Darius put. Where's Darius' message? Yeah, parameter is basically a criteria. Gotcha. All right. Parametric custom liveries. The A340 will be the first aircraft with fully parametric custom liveries. In the first phase, players should ideally not notice anything too strange. These liveries should behave like the current custom liveries, such as basic, special, and similar variants. But technically, they are something completely different. Until now, liveries have mostly worked as texture files. Parametric custom liveries work more like a paint system. The aircraft surface can use patterns, colors, and placement data instead of one fixed image texture. In simple words, instead of storing one finished livery image, we store instructions for colors, shapes, and placements on the aircraft. This is one of the most advanced systems we've ever worked on in World of Airports. Why is this important? In the first phase, it will help us save storage space. Nice. But the real reason is the next step. In a later phase, players should be able to take selected patterns, place them freely on the aircraft, change their size, rotate them, and create their own signature livery. Oh, snap. I see you. I see you. Let's replay that. This is like parametric because they were just moving the colors around, the shapes around. Okay, that's going to be fun. And of course, the next question is obvious. What about airline names and logos? That part will not be visible in the game yet, but thanks to parametric custom liveries, we're now much closer to it. The prototype's already being tested, and when everything works together, it looks really impressive. The feature is taking a lot of time. It's not only a design challenge, but also a big technical challenge. We need to display hundreds of different customized aircraft in real time across airports and players, and we still need to keep the game running on mobile devices. That is not easy, but I believe it will be worth it. That does look pretty cool, though. That does look pretty cool. And I know, again, I mean, that's like, though, a visual update, but I feel like that's it's a personalization kind of update, which I think is kind of cool. You can add like some community type events with it too. We can do like livery competitions and similar. So that will be pretty exciting. Yo, France. Well, it's France, right? France, thanks you for resubscribing for 4 months, bro. Appreciate that. Yoda said in dev language, it's texture. Okay, I'm not gonna read that, sorry. I think I get it, but I just don't know the words. Alright, dynamic shadows. In update 3.5.0, we also added dynamic shadows. Hold on, let's go back to World of Airports. Alright, I got 8 minutes over here. Alright. We got level 49, nice. Oh, only Wallers though, that's whack. That's whack. Alright. Handle planes. That one's at 4 out of 5, that's pretty cool. Dynamic shadows. We're gonna get there in just a second. I think we're gonna switch to Sydney next, because Sydney I have planes pre-landed. Oops. Oh, we gotta go through player news, and we gotta go through the leaderboards too. All right, dynamic shadows. In update 3.5.0, we also added dynamic shadows. On paper, this may look like one small graphics option. In reality, it changed the visual feeling of the game quite a lot. Yeah, for real. Let's see if we could change the shadows here. I have them on. Hold on. I didn't have them on. Battery saver mode off. Oh, here we go. Yeah, dude, dynamic shadows really, like, it sounded like a small thing, but it really does, like, kind of like, for some reason it does, like, it increases, like, just how good the game looks. And I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just because of shadows and the way our brains work. But man, it did do such a great improvement on, like, graphics. All right. Screenshots suddenly look more cinematic. Aircraft feel more grounded. Airports have more depth. Let's take a look at their video. Okay, yeah, this is the one on social media. It is pretty cool. But of course, nothing like this comes for free. We had to do a lot of work on shader optimization, and even then, not every device can handle it comfortably. That's why dynamic shadows are available as an optional setting in the graphics menu. If your device can handle dynamic shadows, try turning them on and taking a few screenshots. The game gets a completely different atmosphere. Yeah. Cross-platform authentication. Alright, with the latest update, we also added cross-platform authentication. As expected, this caused a lot of extra work for support. Many players had technical issues, and some accounts were linked in the opposite direction than they intended. Oof. This is one of the moments where we clearly see that the feature itself is not enough. We also need to explain it better. So yes, we need to improve how we communicate the system inside the game, and in support materials, it'll save stress on both sides. Yes. I'm still glad the system is finally in the game, because for many players, it is a very important quality of life feature. Yeah, 100%. You know, like, it's even though I've only used iPhones for, like, the past, like, 6 years, it's good to know that I'm not going to lose my World at Airports progress. I'm not going to lose my main account if I decide I no longer want to have an iPhone anymore. You know, it's good. I know some of you guys already made that change before, years ago, and had to start all over again. You lost all your progress. This update makes it so you don't have to have that happen to you anymore. So yeah, you could go up here. You can go to game settings. You go to profile. You could sign out. When you sign out, you have let's do it. When you sign out, you have a few options here. I'm on an iPad, so I could sign in with Game Center. You could also sign in with Apple and sign in with Google. So, like, I could sign in on my Captain Phat account, my PC account, signing in with Google, and I should be able to play it on my iPad. We're going to just sign in with Game Center because I'm on Phat Empire. And we're going to switch airports too. But really, really cool update. 3.5.1 is where we were able to actually, like, you weren't locked into migration alone. But really cool. Cammy said, I bought an Android tablet just to make sure I didn't lose progress on my main account. Yeah, that's the rough part, because, like, not everybody can do that. And, like, I mean, we do put a lot of time and effort and energy and, like, just a lot into our World Airport accounts, you know? Money too, some of us. And even if you're not putting in money, there's still a lot that you're putting into. So, oh, look at that. I have no contract capacity. Let's get some more. I think these are renewals. I remember Tony's playing. And I don't remember Aerolinas. I think Aerolinas we have a cargo plane. But alright, that's good. We're not gonna play Prague today. I don't have any planes on the ground. So really, really tough to play an airport like Prague when there are no planes on the ground. But with Prague getting a remodel, right, that they're talking about in the DevBlog here, we're gonna have different runways, right? So I'm super excited about planes landing from this runway over here, runway 6, right? Because then the planes will depart from over here, maybe even over here, right? The planes will exit the runway right here, and right here, which means that the taxi times to get to the gates are going to be much shorter. Now, when they have to leave and depart, they're going to have a very long taxi time to get to their departure. But most of us are not in a hurry to get planes to depart. we're in a bigger hurry to get planes to get to their gate, to fill up the stands. So that's going to be like super exciting, let alone the graphics, and then increasing the quality to the Innsbruck standard that they've set. I'm excited for that. Educate said, I went into my account in WoA, found 44 gold planes. Nice. Pretty cool. Halleck says, taxi times on landings are why I don't play Prague much. I know, same thing here. I would totally play a lot more. Because like Prague is a cool airport. It's just I just don't have, there's not enough stands for me to do like a bunch of pre-landing. And then yeah, with the pre-landing, yeah, it's like yeah, just not enough stands to do pre-landing for as long as I want to do it for. Whereas like bigger airports, pre-landing works really great. Anyways, cross-platform authentication, I love that update. Thumbs up for me. Super happy about it, even though I haven't switched devices. It did encourage me to start my PC account, which is over here, which is what, Captain Phat, because, well, actually it was two things, right? World of Airports released on Google Play Games beta, so you can play on PC. So that was the first thing, is that like you can play World of Airports on your PC on Google Play Games beta. And the second thing is, like, I can also bring my account from my PC over to my iPad if I really wanted to. So that's also pretty exciting. Not that I've done it. I haven't done it yet, but the fact that that's an available option is very appealing to me. So that is pretty cool. I'm happy about it. We're going to talk about Captain Phat. We're going to look through the leaderboards. We're going to talk about this account in a few moments. I'm just going to keep landing some of these planes, and I'll let you guys know how you can send me requests and how I can accept it, and what the rules are with this account as well. But all right, let's keep reading this dev blog. It's taking me over an hour to read the dev blog. It's crazy, right? All right, SimSensor, UH1, and Flyboys trailer. Alright, since the last dev blog, a lot has also happened outside the game. Together with my brother, we finished the reconstruction of our SimSensor. Nice. I think that was it's really cool, because I think that was like the plane simulator. I believe Kuba and his brother made that together, so that's like, it's really, it was very important to him for that reason. But like, I know, actually, let's keep reading, because and later on it talks about like what that SimSensor is going to play with World Airports and with Flyboys. So we finally managed to bring in a UH-1 helicopter cockpit that has been waiting on the side for a long time. We got it from the German Bundeswehr, and now our full-scale B738 cockpit has a new friend in the form of a full real scale cockpit of this iconic helicopter. Harley worked hard on it, and the helicopter simulator is already fully functional. Nice. That's cool. We also moved our podcast equipment into the SimSensor. The funny part is that even after preparing all of this, we still have not managed to properly record the first episode. Time is our biggest enemy, but I still want to try it because I think a more technical and personal format could be interesting for some of you. The SimSensor reconstruction also started another project, the Flyboys events trailer. When we moved the UH-1 cockpit into our already small space, we no longer had room for the Cessna 152 cockpit. It had been sitting in the corner for a long time, a bit like Cinderella, still waiting for its chance to become something functional. The risk that we would have nowhere to put it finally pushed us into an idea we had for years. To build a trailer with the simulator inside and take it out to meet people. Somehow, almost miraculously, we managed to put together a team of very skilled and slightly crazy people. Big thanks to our friends from Sopco Advertising who helped build an event trailer with really impressive parameters in a very short time. Yeah, that trailer looks really cool. We took it to its first test event, the air show in Plassey near Pilsen, and honestly we enjoyed it a lot. Loved the connection of being at an aviation event, watching the beautiful aircraft like the P-51 or Bronco, and at the same time sharing the aviation project we currently spend most of our time on, our game. It was definitely not the last event. We are preparing for the aviation event in Hradec Králové, where we would be very happy if some of you stopped by, visited us, and talked with us about the game. In the future, we would like to take the event trailer not only around the Czech Republic, but also to other countries. Ideally, it should become the center of our meetups at airports like Innsbruck, Bari, Prague, Leipzig, and others. If you know about an interesting aviation event in Europe that could be reached from the Czech Republic and where it would make sense for us to meet players, I would be happy for your tips. And we are also open to fans visiting us directly at our sim center to try our simulators. Of course, we need to manage all of this carefully. We still need enough time to actually make the game. So what's next? Alright, let's pause there before we get into what's next. Ultra said you'd react to their podcast on stream. That's a good question, bro. When it comes to their podcast, I would probably see what their format. Well, I would watch it first. I wouldn't do like a live. I'll put it. Let me pause for a second. I would definitely watch it offline first for the first one, see what it looks like, and then kind of think about if the format would work best if it's a live reaction stream, like where we're watching the podcast all together and reacting to it, or if it's a better format for me to kind of just like show you the highlights of what has been spoken, right? Because if they're the thing with podcasts is there could be a lot of like personal details, which is fine, but might not be related necessarily to World of Airports and like everybody who the information that I want to share on Phat Airlines. Like people will always have access to watch it themselves if they want to get all those details, but I also want to share World of Airports specific details, right? So if it's very heavy on World of Airports, it might make sense for me to watch the entire podcast on stream and do like a live reaction or response to it. But if it's like a half and half mix or something like that, then it might make sense for me to kind of wait and kind of like take clips and like take notes and like watch those clips together and talk about those moments instead. But yeah, we would do something for sure on based on their videos for sure, or on their podcast. Boy, time to say I'm sorry. It's so funny to hear foreigners struggle with Czech. Yeah, and it's funny. It's funny, man. It's funny. I know. I don't know what to say with that. We are. What can you say, man? I don't know what those accents mean. I'm thinking to go to that center over summer break. Nice. That's pretty cool, man. I do want to go to like the Czech Republic. Like, actually, I've said this a couple times, but like one of my goals is like to travel more. And I'm tying that in with Phat Airlines by wanting to travel to all the airports that are in the game. And then, one of the things that I am actually doing is I'm going to St. Martin in August. Not by plane, but by boat, by cruise. But I'm doing a big video on St. Martin Airport, so I'm pretty excited about that video coming up that I'm going to be working on. And depending upon how that video goes, will kind of determine whether or not I can continue doing like airport videos for the rest of the airports and World of Airports. But it would be pretty cool. And if I would definitely want to visit. Darius said, make sure you have permission so it's not copyright. Bro, you can do reaction videos, bro. See, the thing is with copyright, and this is for anybody who wants to know, if they're like, it's music has like the tightest copyright, because like there's certain like you can't let music play by itself for like a certain amount of time. But like when it comes to videos, there's a lot of rules when it comes to videos. Like if you let the video play for a certain amount of time and you're not reacting or responding to it or like talking about it, then you're going to be in copyright infringement space, because essentially all you're doing is re-uploading the video, right? But if I'm talking about it and I'm giving my reaction on it, my thoughts and feelings on it, then we're not into that copyright situation. Plus, if the developers copyright strike me, then let's say about them. That means they don't want me to talk about it, right? And then that means probably not the game I want to be streaming anymore. I don't think the devs would do that, but just saying, that kind of there's a trickle effect that happens with that too. If there's an apostrophe over that, it's long. Yeah, interesting. Boxshot got the message that Phat Empire handled my plane at Sydney. Nice, bro. I stopped getting those notifications. I'm happy about it, but also I don't know why they stopped. Whereas like some people still get them. I have way too maybe because I have way too many notifications. Anyways, all right, let's continue with this dev blog, because we're an hour into stream and we're still not done with this dev blog. The next big goal is to finish parametric custom liveries and then continue with the ability to edit airline logos and names on aircraft. This is no longer a distant dream. We are now much closer to a real implementation than ever before. At Zurich, after Zurich, we plan to release the Prague remake during the summer. Okay, cool. I didn't catch this before. So the Prague remake during the summer, together with one new aircraft. And to avoid the confusion, this aircraft is not the 737. Of course, we're continuously working on the entire 737 family as well, but this is a huge mega project because of the number of models, variants, and liveries involved. We want to do it properly, and that simply takes time. Pretty cool. The next airport after that is not fully decided yet. We already have several candidates in progress, and it will very likely not be a European airport. Alright, so biggest takeaway here, after Zurich we plan to release the Prague remake during the summer with another aircraft. So that means Zurich is probably going to come out before the summer, right? Which kind of aligns with that May time frame, but still no exact time frame on Zurich release. Prague remake currently expected during the summer. That is also subject to change, as many of us know who've been here for a while with World Airports. No shade though. I'm not salty or anything about that. It's a small development team. Alright, demand system and cargo. Another very important system we are actively working on is the improved demand system at airports. Yes. Alright, what does this mean though? This should bring a completely new dimension to route planning and aircraft deployment. Today, many routes are planned mostly by distance, aircraft availability, and player preference. With a better demand system, we want to make the world feel more connected and more meaningful. Okay. It should matter more which airport you are playing, what kind of traffic makes sense there, and what aircraft you decide to use. This will also open new possibilities for cargo flights. Cargo should not only be about fixed routes. We want to move towards ad hoc contracts where players transport different types and volumes of goods. Nice. That could create much more variety and make cargo gameplay feel more different from passenger operations. We're also improving the demand system because it's a key step towards one of the most anticipated features in the game: alliances. Nice. Finally, an alliance update. Let's go. All right, we're gonna read the alliance update shortly. Demand system sounds pretty cool. Cargo system sounds pretty cool. Cargo system would be even cooler if we had more cargo airports. Because I mean, I guess Hong Kong has a good amount of cargo stands. LHR is not too bad. You got Leipzig, which is a cargo airport, but I guess we'll see what that looks like. But like having different types of volumes, different types of goods and volumes of goods would be pretty cool. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of like some of the transport games, perhaps. All right, let's read alliances. Alliances went through many design iterations. The current direction is based on the idea of connecting and maintaining networks of player-created routes. The goal is not just to create a simple clan system with a chat and a leaderboard. We want alliances to have a real gameplay purpose. Players should be able to cooperate, create enough demand between playable airports, coordinate routes, and gradually build something that feels like a shared aviation network. We are planning a community hub for alliance coordination, alliance rankings, and gameplay benefits connected to active participation. At the same time, they want to repeat something important. Players who prefer to play solo should not be punished. Solo gameplay must stay fully valid. Alliances should add another layer for players who want cooperation, not make the game worse for those who do not. Interesting. So that's pretty cool. They're not going to just create a simple clan system. Players to cooperate, create demand. And looking at what they're saying about demand, we know what demand means in the future. When it comes to cargo planes, what does that mean for passenger planes? Like demand could be for cargo planes, different types and volumes of goods. What does it mean for passenger planes? Oh, there we go. What airport you are playing? What kind of traffic makes sense there? So like, okay, if you're playing an airport like IAD, it makes sense to have a lot of seaplanes, right? Size C, because there's just a lot of C stands there, and IAD is a good hub for United States airports or domestic airports. And then they're gonna have a community hub for alliance coordination, alliance rankings, gameplay benefits connected to active participation. But what kind of benefits would they implement that don't invalidate solo gameplay? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But really, I think the bigger update about alliances there is about the demand system. But we learned about the cargo demand, but not about the passenger demand. All right, let's keep going. Handling equipment assignment. We already have a working prototype for assigning different types of handling equipment. Right now, we're connecting finished 3D models into the system and building a new UI for controlling it. This will make handling a bit more complex, but I believe it'll be the good kind of complexity. The goal is not to overwhelm players with too many clicks. The goal is to give ground operations more meaning, more choices, and more strategy. Different aircraft, different stands, and different situations should require different solutions. That's where world airports can become much deeper without losing its accessibility. As part of our effort to make the whole game more realistic, part of our team will also spend time next month doing real ground handling at Prague Airport. Oh, that's pretty interesting. And yes, they've already started training with suitcases. Before we lock this feature completely, we want to collect as many real-world observations as possible and see if they can help us make the handling system even better. New UI for controlling the equipment system. I don't know what they mean by controlling it. Is that like a mini game, or is it just like this right here? I'm not sure. But it does say it'll make handling more complex, so it means like beyond just the size differences of a plane, the planes themselves, like each different plane model might have different handling equipment that's needed based on its own specific needs. I guess that's cool. I think what would be cooler too if they had like a mini game in here, especially if they're going training themselves, doing real ground handling at an airport. If they implemented mini games, and the mini games have to have like good rewards, you know, like it can't just be like 1 XP, especially when XP doesn't matter when the airport is maxed out. Like it needs to have good rewards, you know. But if they had like mini games, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't know. But they really, they have a plan here. So let's keep reading. And then we'll talk about what my final thoughts are too. Community feedback. Many of you probably noticed that every set of release notes includes something that came directly from the forum. That's not a coincidence. We actively follow both bug reports and feature requests, and we always try to bring at least some community ideas into the game. The forum has become a source of hundreds of great suggestions, and many of them help us to shape priorities, improve existing systems, or notice problems we might otherwise miss. So please keep posting your ideas, feedback, reports, and discussions. Even when we don't reply to everything, we read much more than it may seem from the outside. I also want to thank everyone who helps keep this community alive and healthy. Moderators, experienced players, people answering questions, reporting bugs, and explaining systems to new players, and keeping discussions constructive. You're helping us not only maintain the community, but also keep the game itself moving forward. Final words. I know there's a lot happening at the same time. New airports, airport remakes, aircraft families, custom liveries, alliances, demand, cargo, handling equipment, meetups, sim center projects, and our event trailer. Sometimes even I feel like there's a lot happening at once. But from my point of view, all of these things are connected by one goal: to make world airports richer, more realistic, more personal, and more alive. I'm really excited about where the game is headed. Cuba. Awesome. Cool. What do you guys think? I'll tell you what I think in a second. Handle some planes. Hungry, guys, man. I am hungry. Order me some DoorDash. I don't know. What's up, Easy Nuts? You're leaving for work? No worries. Peace. Baker says, I think it's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. So, here's this is a very thorough dev blog, and it's very, very cool. And my initial, actually, let's scroll, see if they have any dev posts down here too. Google says, has anyone noticed there are trams in Innsbruck? I don't even know where they are. Alright, cool. I'm not reading through all the comments. Looking for dev comments. Alright. So, really cool to get a recap. Oh, they're on ads, so I'm going to wait for people to get back from ads before I talk about my recap here. What do you guys let me know your thoughts in chat. Check out the last reply in DevBlog 31. All right, I'm looking. Okay, I see what you're saying. Nice. We'll bring it up. We'll bring it up. We will bring it up. Thank you, Ultra. We'll bring that up. Waiting for ads to finish for our people who are in ads. Yo, what's up, Kurotsuki? DJ Bay is interested to see if alliances and demands system will make using B planes more attractive and rewarding. Yeah, same here. All right, so here are my thoughts on the devblog, right? One, it's good to get like a recap of the past update, right? Kind of remind people all the work that's already been done, right? Kind of, especially in some of the work that may not have been noticed. So it's good to get that kind of like pointed out, you know, show people, especially some of these things like the A330s. Not everybody can experience because not everybody has the planes unlocked, you know, or you don't have A330s coming into your airport yet, so not everybody might experience that. So it's good to kind of go over that. It's good to get confirmation about Zurich, about the next airport. It's also pretty interesting to hear about, you know, how runways are going to be have a future runway selection option. So that's going to be very interesting, and it's very interesting that's coming out like essentially with Zurich, where Zurich is going to let us have unique possibilities for runway combinations. So that's exciting. And now I'm not familiar with Zurich Airport, so I wouldn't know that they're doing like a future version of this airport, but also very cool that they clarified that ahead of time, so that way people aren't surprised. They kind of cleared up that the A340 is going to be the next plane to get an update, and they gave us an update on custom liveries, letting us know that, you know, custom liveries are going to be are currently kind of in the game, starting with the A340 coming out, the A340 updates coming out. So that's pretty exciting too, because like even though we're not going to be able to like really see it, it's in the game already, which means that we're really close to kind of getting a final version where we can create our own liveries. And you can see in this video how that plane itself can change from that custom livery, or using that custom livery, that parametric custom livery setting. So that's pretty cool. They still have to work on airline logos, but again, like all of that is pretty much all like graphics, except for Zurich, which is like an airport, and runways is like also a big, it's a change when it comes to gameplay, because now I wonder how that's going to impact. I don't really know what that means in terms of gameplay. Like, does that mean there's going to be an optimal runway for certain airplanes, and the less optimal runway for other airplanes, or is it not really going to matter? Something for us to take a look at and think about. Dynamic shadows, again, that's going back into what they've done, and like I said, very good for them to show it, because not everybody can turn it on, because you need a good device in order to turn it on. Cross-platform, I'm a big fan of, especially with their latest update, how they are able to, it's not just a one-way transfer, you can kind of go back and forth now, so that's really cool. It's really cool that they're working on in-person events as well through their trailer and some of their simulation building. So that's exciting. I'm not in Europe, so it's going to be harder for me. But for those of you who are in the area, I'd love to hear about what you guys are experiencing there. And then, of course, I love all the dev blogs that talk about what's next. So we got, you know, custom liveries. We got a landing gear. I'm not excited about landing gears. I'm not looking at a plane's landing gear in the game. Doesn't excite me. It's cool looking. I don't get me wrong, I like the way it looks and I think it's pretty amazing, but that's not exciting to me. Sorry to you guys who are exciting for. Demand system is pretty exciting, especially given there's something else that that Kuba posted on the forum on another on DevBlog 31, which we'll go into. But the demand system is going to be pretty interesting because that's going to change the game a little bit, especially when it comes to cargo flights, alliances. Not a lot of details still on alliances, but essentially they're just reinforcing, hey, we haven't forgot about alliances. We're still working on it, and we don't want it to just be a simple system that we don't like, that doesn't have any features in it. They're trying to make sure that it has features in there, including alliance coordination, rankings, and gameplay benefits, while still keeping solo gameplay as an option. I'm not even sure what handling equipment assignment really means. Is it just going to be a graphics update, or is it going to be a mini game? Is it going to be just another thing to handle? Like, is it going to be like the Ambulift, where it's just another service that has to happen on certain planes? I mean, it is cool to be more realistic, but does that really change the gameplay? Maybe, not sure. And then community feedback, they kind of reiterated here, and I talked about it earlier too, but it's like, for a lot of us, for me, and for some of us here, I know some of you guys also really are really hyped about the graphics updates too. But I know the last couple of weeks, months, I've been talking about like how we really need more gameplay updates. So that's like one of the things that I'm really like looking for. And it sounds like to me that I really, I probably should make more posts on the forum, be a little bit louder essentially when it comes to talking about what I want to see with the gameplay. So I'm definitely going to do a stream about what I want to see in World of Airports, but I'm gonna wait till after the next update comes out, because the main reason I'm doing that is because I feel like the developers are currently like already working on the next update. So if I release that video, I want them to be able to like I want everybody to be able to talk about it, while also like addressing the new features that are just released, like the runway direction change at Zurich and how that's going to impact everything. So yeah, pretty cool update. It sounds like, World of Airports is definitely being more realistic, definitely more personal with the customization, and more alive with all the graphics that they're improving on. Like the what's that called? I forgot what it's called already. The landing gear updates, more alive, and then of course with the equipment, where they have their own staff training with suitcases to be ground crew. So that's going to be pretty interesting, pretty cool. Graphics are always nice, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, I'm not a graphics person when it comes to most games. I'm fine with I would have been fine with World of Airports 1, with those graphics still, and I think a lot of you guys are in the same boat. But here's the one thing about the demand system that Ultra called out. Thank you, Ultra, for bringing this to my attention. Where Kubasan, head developer, responds to Tanman's post here on DevBlog 31. Says, I completely second everything said here. We need more features, mechanics, quirks to the game. As nice as new airplanes and airports are, they inherently don't change the gameplay. As much as I feel bad saying it, because I do love this game, as CJ said, the gameplay is honestly becoming pretty dry, repetitive. We really need something to break up the monotony, whether it be other forms of aviation, such as that, new challenges, more multiplayer features, whatever. We just need more variation in gameplay, to be honest. Kuba said, yes, we know. That's why the demand system needs to change to make room for events and challenges. So maybe that is how passenger planes are going to like have a different demand system, where the demand system could change, because we'll have like the demand will be about getting like you'll have a challenge essentially to get X amount of passengers to a certain airport, and that's when you have to have a certain plane and like create the contract for that. maybe that's the way that will work, where those will be like, the demand will be kind of like a challenge in a way, and you get like bonuses for doing that. That's kind of like the way I interpret this, but I mean, there might be a lot of ways to interpret it, but I think it's pretty interesting, pretty cool. That's the DevBlog 32. Let's great to go over it and great to see it. I also wish that they told us when we could expect the next airport to come out. But I know how the devs feel about that. Most of us know how the devs feel about that. I don't know why I closed Discord. I need it. But I wish that they gave us, you know, some kind of timeline to expect it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see, or hope that it comes out sometime in May. Let's all right, what about you guys? Let me see what you guys are saying. What's up, Pew Whaler? Nice to see you. Boy Tondo may unlock the A340 just for playing with it. Nice. DJ Bay just unlocked GRU. Nice. Congratulations. Boy Tondo says Zurich should be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what that runway change looks like. You know, having a new airport is always cool as it is, but like having also the different runway change that's happening as well, just going to make it even more interesting. All right, how do we get rid of that? I don't want the sidebar. Get rid of the side. I guess I can't get rid of the side. All right, we're gonna go through player news every Saturday. On stream, we go through the player news because on the Phat Airlines Discord, we do have a player news forum where players, you guys can post what is happening in your game in World of Airports, and we open it and we read it, so that way we can update it. We can update the entire community on what's happening with your game. So we have Ginger Jesus, Vista Airways, MSY pending closure, GRU unlocked. So today, thanks to some very good contract partners, Ginger Jesus successfully achieved level 71 at MSY, and they've unlocked GRU. They're looking to receive contracts there from tonight onward. Nice. I will complete all current contracts, including the few that are currently on 0 out of 10, but won't accept renewals from now at MSY. But happy to take them at GRU. LHR still remains the most active hub. Nice. Let's read the next one. Desperado Kutsu Air unlocked the A380. Nice, congrats. That's a good plane to unlock. It's like not expensive in gold planes. It is expensive in Wallers, but really a solid plane to unlock. For now, let's move this a little bit. There we go. For now, I will use it to grind some Wallers on my non-playable airport profitable routes. All right, good luck with that. Congratulations. Fleeting Negligence is making progress on their second account. So they're regional at Nagoya, building a fleet there. They bought St. Martin and a premium pass and a 110,000 Waller pack for 10 gold planes. So with that, they bought 5 DH8Ds at St. Martin to get started for Wallers and XP. IAD and Nagoya are open for all types of planes. St. Martin's open for B and C passenger planes, and they're going to make a post on the contract board. Nice. And they're able to get the daily gold planes, the weekly gold planes, and the silver planes growing. Oh, speaking of, let's go ahead and do that too. Let's get our 10 gold planes for the week. Almost forgot. That's not good if I forgot. Let's claim our airport rewards. We are so close to international here at Sydney. So close. We don't have to line that up. Oh, it just says seems like ages till the A380 remodel still. I don't know. They have so many planes, so many things they're working on. Who knows when it's actually going to get like the next remodel, right? Fleeting Negligence is back to operations are back to normal. If they don't have enough time, LHR will be the first airport that they skip except for Fridays. So here's their schedule. Patience is a virtue. Yeah, except if it's your favorite plane, right? Then it's like hard. All right, educate, learn. YT says outside stuff and depression. Sorry to hear that, man. Your mood's been off for a while. Stuff online, bro. Take a break. You know, for everybody. You know, it's okay to take a break from games. You know, sometimes like there is like a level like of responsibility you might feel because you have so many contracts with people. But like even I kind of like stopped playing World of Airports a little bit this week because I got sick this week. I had you know, I was just busy with the family. I was tired from working out and not getting enough sleep because my kids were also sick. So they were there was like one night where my daughter was up for like 3 hours in the middle of the night, and I was just trying to like soothe her, and that was tough on me. I think, you know, I'm sure my wife has dealt with a bit too. So yeah, take a break from games if you have to. I know games are supposed to be enjoyable, so hopefully you're feeling better. I saw you here today, so that's pretty cool. England said, I'm not accepting player contracts at Nagoya. Starting today, May 4th, I'm no longer accepting player contracts at renewals at Nagoya Airport. It's mainly because I'm one level away from maxing the airport out. To all Nagoya Airport connections, I'd like to thank you for helping me max this airport out and trying to get San Diego unlocked. It definitely took some time, hard work. We got there eventually. Nice, congratulations. Cats has exams starting today, which is May 5th. This is not actually today. Today is actually May 9th. But Cats has exams starting on May 5th. Therefore, for a month. Therefore, the main airports will be once every 2 days instead. All right, not a problem. Good luck. Dantja says they unlocked Nagoya. Congratulations. They're still playing IAD because I want to max it out and have a small fleet there. Yeah, IAD is an airport I play daily on my main account because it's like it's the 4 runways that you have. Just it makes it so easy to land so many planes at once. It's when you have so many planes trying to leave at once is where like it becomes a problem. But you could always just exit to main menu and come back. All right, Sea Viper has an internship. So whoever has a contract with them, their username is Grand Budget 38. I'm really sorry, but due to my internship, my playtime will be reduced, and the frequency of me handling planes. They're gonna still try their best to handle aircraft, but they may not be able to handle it for a while. I promise I will return all aircraft from my airport by this Saturday. I'm not getting a single second to open the game. Yeah, starting a new job or a new internship is definitely kind of tough. Good luck with that. And like I said, you know, there is like a level like of like responsibility or that you have or accountability you have with like your connection partner. So that's good that you make that player news post, so that way people can understand and know. You know, people might still cancel contracts because, you know, they got their own gaming goals, right? But a lot of people, if they know like this is like temporary, like hey, like you're going through a situation, you're starting a new internship, you're starting a new job. That's why we created that player news section, so people could look. And that's also why I want to do it on stream. That way people can hear about it too. All right, Jupiter Air World has exams, so they're gonna have reduced activity. Never thought I'd have to make this, but from now on until Friday, which is May 5th until yesterday, they're on reduced activity due to an exam coming up, which may be important, and then I want to relax after dealing with the exam. Someone on Friday pinged me in here to get back to playing. Somebody ping that guy. Nah, exams, you know, same thing. It's like with work, you know, definitely got to, you know, pick where you're going to focus on, right? Fleeting Negligence is reducing gameplay this weekend from May 8th until May 10th. Gameplay is going to be reduced. Operations will be back on normal Monday, May 11th. Infinite Rush is on holiday until May 12th. So starting yesterday, May 8th, they are on holiday for a long weekend to Italy. It could be possible I will not handle planes from then until Tuesday. Sorry for the inconvenience. Nice. Hope you have a good time. Sounds like a blast. We have Desperado, aka Kutsu Air, unlocking IAD and his schedule update. So here's their old schedule, here's their new schedule, and here's what changed. They finally unlocked IAD. They're still playing Prague, but only 2 days per week. They're going to reopen in to max the airport. Contract to Prague will not be canceled and will still be handled. And they're starting the new schedule, which happened yesterday. All right, Gleno got 7 million silver planes. Nice, bro. I only got like 4.4 million on my main account, so pretty solid. Make sure you're spending them. You just passed 7 million silver planes. You surpassed 6 million on March 28th, so it took you 6 weeks to get to 7 million. Playing large airports and having lots of consistent player contracts helps with the momentum. My advice for new players: keep grinding and look after your connection players, and everything else falls into place. Yeah, one thing to add, well, congratulations first, but make sure you're also spending those silver planes. No point in hoarding them. And the way you could spend them, the way I recommend it, is one, always buy the 10 gold planes every single week, right? You trade in 10,000 silver planes for 10 gold planes. If you have that many, you should also be doing a daily one. So try to log in once per day so you can get that daily. Then on especially airports that you're playing at, spend the silver plane on contract capacity. You can buy this every 48 hours. So you can get extra 4 contract capacity in your airports for 3,500 silver planes every 48 hours. And then if when you're first loading into the airport, spend it on the handling crew. I know some people gave me an idea to see if like how long would it take, like, well, how much some people do have a stockpile of time activated for their tower managers too. I'm not sure if I recommend that or not, but I'm just sharing it with you guys because I know some people do have like days on their tower managers. So that what that means is when they go and log into the game and log into that airport, they don't have to ever worry about turning on the tower managers because those tower managers are already activated for multiple days. That could be great for you. It might not be. Who knows? I haven't tried it yet. I'm probably going to try it out for a video. And I'll let you know how it goes. But that's another way you could spend your silver planes as well. All right, we got one more post here. And that's from some guy. Some guy 2121, aka 999. Bro, you keep changing your name. Hey all, I've hit 3.5 million silver planes a few days ago and also unlocked MSY. You're on pace to hit 4 million silver planes this month. Nice. You're opening up Nagoya to max it out and closing BKK. Hong Kong's been turned into an airport that I play daily, which replaced IAD. They also hit 200 fleet planes at Hong Kong recently. Nice. Congratulations. Look at that. Cool. Yeah, same advice with you, man, with the silver planes. Make sure you're spending them. No point in keeping all those silver planes if you don't need to. Alright, let's see here. Oh, Lightning Dolphin. My bad, man. Got Phat M plane contract to BKK. Take a look. Locked. Has to be an NY. Where do I have unlocked? Only music stopped. You gave me a color. Let's see if we can let's see if this color is Phat approved. You said A67C000. Like a brown. Why not? Why not? Start that plane so that way we can make sure it lands because I have the tower managers working. And when it comes to my tower managers, I do have them prioritizing favorite airplanes. Prefer favorite airplanes because I usually favorite the planes that are hearted. Favorite planes are the ones that are hearted. I favorite the planes that are close to completion. Like this one right here, 8 out of 10 should be hearted because it's close to completion. I also heart the planes that I want to land immediately. Sometimes I forget to unheart them, which can be a problem. because then later on I'm like, why did I heart this plane? It's because I wanted it to land early or first. So like at Muscat, for example, a lot of my cargo planes are hearted there because I don't have a lot of cargo stands. So I always want the cargo planes to land first, right? So that's one of the things. All right, player news is done. I can actually close Discord now. We have next up, we only have 30 minutes. My mom has to leave at 2 today, so I have a hard stop today. Let us go to achievements. Go to airports. Okay, I didn't mean achievements. I meant leaderboards. Well, where's the leaderboards? Here they are, right? Leaderboards. All right. So every Saturday we also go through the leaderboards. You know, there are separate leaderboards for iOS and for Android. And because we have access to Android through Google Play Games on PC, we're able to do both. So we're going to go through both the Android leaderboards and iOS leaderboards. You can look at my previous streams to see if people changed spots. One thing we do look at when we go to the leaderboards is we do go into the global leaderboards and we do change the filter to this week. On Android, I think it starts to this week by default, but we do change the filter to this week. We change it that way, so that way we're only showing the players who are actively playing. But also, there was a period of time where I even accidentally have, like you see here, Phat Empire, 411,000 handled airplanes, and that's on all time. That's because when we had the account switching bug where we could not switch accounts on the same device, essentially my Phat Empire account was trying to log in, and it did log in, but it took the game center stats of the Thephatrican, even though I wasn't playing Phat Empire. I was still playing the Thephatrican. So it ended up being bugged. There's no way to fix that I know of. Maybe I could report it to the devs, but I don't know. I don't know if they even care about the leaderboards. But that's why I switched to this week. Because if we go back to this week, you'll see here I'm at 14,000 on my stream only account. So that's a much more appropriate and proper number there. So let's take a look at the top 100 rankings, and I'll try to shout out anybody I see here. I'll probably forget, especially if your username is different than what like your gamer tag is or what your in-game name is, then it's gonna be I might not call you out, but you can always just remind me on Discord who you are, and I'll try my best to make sure I remember. All right. But we got Dragon Cathay at number 1 with 1.2 million handled airplanes. We have Telephone Booth at number 2 at 1 million handled airplanes. And Flying Park with 905,000 handled airplanes. We got our very own Freezeman 24 with 808,000 handled airplanes at number 4. Then you got myself. I'm number 7 at 460,000 handled airplanes at number 7. David Elio, 449,000, number 8. Cookie Cooker, 392,000, number 13. Sammy is here at rank 30 with 314,000 planes, handled airplanes. TJ Bay, number 42, 284,000 planes. All right, and at number 100, we have Hoa Sim Im Lim 52 with 215,000 handled airplanes. Nice. All right, next up we have the Android version, the Android leaderboards for handled airplanes. So for that, we have, again, this week, we have Stardust Airlines at number 1 with 1 million handled airplanes. We have France Japan at number 2, 956,000. And then we have Aldi Air at number 3, 823,000. We also have, let's keep going. Hammy is number 11 at 470,000. We got Vivid Express at number 20, ranked 20 with 382,000. We got Amit Mert K and Aries Mike at 43 and 44 with 289,000 and 288,000. Laura 123Q, rank 65, 249,000. And at Tony Airways is ranked 99, 205,000, and Raptor X RR, our very own, rank 100 at 204,000. Next up, we have handled passengers. Handled passengers, we have Stardust Airlines, rank 1, 589 million. We have France Japan at 440 million, rank 2. And Aldi Air, rank 3, 433 million. Hammy's at rank 18 at 192 million. Leno, rank 28, 160 million. Oh, Mike is 43, 129 million. Laura 123Q is 127 million, rank 46. Mert is rank 48, 124 million. Sunrise Air, rank 57, 118 million. Oops. And D4, my 81 Discord Cassiel 81 is rank 100 at 86 million handled passengers. All right, let's go back to over here. Handled passengers. We got to go to this week. And for number 1, we have Dragon Cat Day, 712 million. Number 2 is Flying Park, 499 million. And number 3 is Telephone Booth at 379 million. We have Freezeman at number 5, 283 million. I'm rank 19 at 179 million. David Elio, 178 million, number 20. Sammy is ranked 22, 167 million. Cookie Cooker is ranked 41, 128 million. DJ Bay ranked 97 at 96 million. And at rank 100 we got Paslow, 95 million. All right, next leaderboard will be completed contracts. Go to global, go to this week, and let's take a look. So we got number 1 telephone booth at 189 million. We have number 2 is Dragon Cat Day at 155 million. And number 3 is Flying Puck at 96 million. Freeze Man coming up at 88. Sorry, did I say million? Sorry. Telephone Booth is number 1 at 189,000. Dragon Cat Day is number 2 at 155,000. Flying Puck is at number 3 at 96,000. Number 4 is Freeze Man at 88,000. Nice. We got number 8 David Elio at 64,000. Sammy's number 18 at 54,000. TJ Bay number 24, 48,000. I'm number 28 at 44,000. Cookie Cooker is number 74 at 35,000. And at 100, we have Riceless at 33,000. Alright, now for the Android peeps. Android, we got this week. Alright, cool. Android, we have number 1, Stardust Airlines, 155,000. We have France Japan, number 2, 113,000. And ISL SOA 6 at number 3, 105,000. See you later, Mike. Yo, Fluffy Kitty, thank you for subscribing. All right, we got Euroland Airways at number 17, 56,000, and Hammy right there at number 18, 56,000. Oh, I'm tired. All right. Who else? We have Amit Mert K 58 with rank 58 with 37,000. Tony Airways is rank 81 with 33,000. Imperial Justice is ranked 90 with 32,000. At rank 100 is Heiko Fikik. Is rank 100 at 31,000. Alright. Next leaderboard is handled cargo in tons. We're going to go there from here. Handled cargo in tons. We have Stardust Airlines, which is rank 1 with 51 million. Torpedo Perry at rank 2, 24 million. And Chifer None, rank 3, 19 million. France Japan is up there at rank 10, 12 million. Hammy's rank 15 with 10 million. Amit Mert K, rank 37, 6 million. Hyperactive WoA, rank 54, 4.8 million. All right, and at rank 100, we have Zhan Shangwan at 3.5 million. Awesome. All right, Next up, we have handled cargo in tons on iOS. Apple leaderboards, we have a telephone booth with 65 million, almost 66. Freezeman number 2, 48 million, and Unholy Cumulus at 35 million, almost 36. David Elio's ranked 12 at 12 million. Sammy's ranked 18 at 10 million. I am ranked 53 at 5.7 million. All right, and rank 100 is Zihan Z at 3.8 million. The last leaderboard is collected liveries. We're gonna go through like the top few. We got E90 Slam with 1,999 liveries, and then we got Swiss. We got a few people at 1,998, all the way down to top 10. And underneath the top 10, you need 1,997 for a few spots, and then it just keeps going. And then for top 100 on Apple, you need 1,948 liveries or more. No, actually, you need more than that to be on the top 100. So that is top 100 on iOS collected liveries. And for Google, we have also the top person has 1,999 liveries, followed by number 2 at 1,998. So top person's name, ISL SOA6. Number 2 is Howard Yang, and we got only one person with 1,993. Look, we got Roloff B over here, number 5. And we're just gonna keep scrolling, see how high do you have to get to be in the top 100 on Android. On Android, you will need you will need 1,749. Actually, you need more than 1,749, so that way you can break the top 100 in Android. But yeah, that is the leaderboards for iOS and for Android. Let's take a look at Sydney real quick, and we can maximize the game now. And we did so much review today, but we talked a lot. We talked about World of Airports. We talked about the dev blogs. We played World of Airports. We also talked about my feelings on, the dev blog. I'm excited. I'm a little bit more excited now about the demand updates. To hear that the demand updates are going to be like the catalyst. That's going to be what causes the change for the gameplay, where we're going to get events and challenges. So I am interested to see what does that look like. It does sound like, though, a lot of graphic updates, which I'm not against. But when it seems like, for the past 6-8 months or so, we've gotten just gameplay or graphical updates and not too many gameplay updates. It kind of feels bad, when that's really what I don't pay attention to graphics. I'm not looking at the landing gears for planes. It's cool that we also read the player news, so it's always cool to stay updated on what's happening with other people. Hopefully everybody's feeling better. Hopefully everybody does great with their new jobs, with their exams, whatever's happening in their lives. Enjoy your vacations, or your holidays. I know, for example, I'm going to be on vacation in 2 weeks. So next week I will be here at 11 a.m. Eastern. 11 or 11:30, I'm not sure. I think 11 a.m. will still be fine, because I think I'll go to the gym at 7 a.m. unless they have a special gym class again at 10 a.m. Because today I went to the gym at 10 a.m. because they had a special, what they call competition prep. And and my watch told me I burned 860 calories in 1 hour, which was a new record. So that's pretty cool. So if they have something like that again next Saturday, which I don't think they do, because I think there's a different there's a competition that's happening in another town that a lot of people are attending. So I don't think there's going to be a special like 10 a.m. class. So next week's stream should start at 11, but the week after, which is May 23rd, that stream is canceled. All right, but I'll be here next week. But next stream after that is canceled. I'll be on vacation with the family, having a great time, because we haven't been on vacation since, I want to say, last May. I've been on like small like getaways, like one getaway with the wife where we went to Vegas, and then we went to Los Angeles. That was fun, but like this was our first getaway with the family. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's gonna be overwhelming at times. Like looking back, it's always a good time. So I'm happy about that. TJ Bay says that 800 calories still probably doesn't get you a Cakester. I'm happy to say that a 3-pack of Cakesters is like 420 calories. I know like a 2-pack is like 300 and something calories. So, but that's the fun thing about my diet, and that's the way the fun way I approach my diet, I should say, is that I don't care. No. I mean, it's like if I want to eat it, I'm going to eat it. I'm making that decision. I'm super happy with like my progress, though. I was looking at some old photos of myself, and maybe I could find like some ways. I could show some like shirt like covered photos of me, maybe maybe sometime, because I have some shirtless photos, but I don't want to share that on Phat Airlines. That's not appropriate. But like me wearing a shirt, I could probably show you that. But I have some photos of me on vacation 2 years ago. I have some photos of me on vacation 1 year ago, and I'm excited this year to actually take photos of me on vacation to see the progress. I know if anybody here is like working on like body changes, whether that's losing weight, gaining weight, building muscle, whatever your goal is, I highly recommend you take pictures like once a week, because like body dysmorphia is real. Like there's times where I'm looking down, it's like, man, I still have so much to lose. Like, but like then I look at the pictures of me from a year ago, from 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually pretty solid right now. And without that, I probably like, I would push myself harder and harder, which is good, but also bad because there's not a lot to lose. So I highly recommend, if you're going through like a diet, a weight change, muscle growth, anything you're trying to achieve with like your body, essentially your body image, take some pictures. I know it's embarrassing or tough the first few times, but do that. What else? Zurich. I sang it wrong the whole time. Yoda said you burn more streaming. Dude, that's one of my goals. I'll probably do this. I don't know when I'll do this, actually. I'm not going to say a timeline. But I'm going to move my streaming setup from where I'm sitting right now to my desk, which is over that way. Because my desk over there has it's a sit-stand desk. It's my office desk. Anytime I'm doing work, whether that's my job, my business, or my side gig, that's my work desk, right? So technically, I think Phat Airlines, especially me streaming, is like me working. I should be able to sit, I should be able to stand, I should be able to walk while I'm streaming. So eventually, you will see me on stream walking or standing, probably not sitting, because I do enjoy sitting, but I don't enjoy sitting for this long anymore. What else? Mike is back. Mike, I saw your message. That's funny. DJ Bay said, I'm working on losing weight. Oh yeah, the food here depends on your economics and where you live. Yeah, that's true too. But like when it comes to your weight, it's all about your food. Like, yeah, like you can't do, well, I can't do an 800 calorie workout every single day, even though it's just 1 hour. It's very demanding, right? So I know I can't do that. You might be able to do that, but I think you have to, if you do decide to do that, you have to work your way there. It's like in World of Airports, right? Like, not everybody can play World of Airports for 4 or 5 hours a day, but you should start at like 15 or 30 minutes. You know, I tell people, and I do this on my Captain Phat account. I'm going to bring up Captain Phat real quick, because on my Captain Phat account, what I'll do is I'll claim the free silver planes, 100 silver planes, right? And if you're a new player, you just got 100 silver planes, what you can do is you can turn on the approach manager, leave the speed at minimum speed, and turn the approach manager on for like 20 minutes, right? That's 55 silver planes. Now, you do have to assign the stands yourself, but once you assign the stand, the planes are going to automatically land, right? So that's going to speed you up a little bit. Then you just have to manually handle planes, or use the ramp agent to handle the planes for you. And you can get a lot done in 20-30 minutes. You just have to pay a little bit of attention, but you get all those planes handled. You're going to be good to go. You're going to make some progress. You're going to get, if you're contracted with other players like I am on Captain Phat. Captain Phat is players only challenge, so I'm only allowed to contract with other players. There is one exception. The exception is I'm able to accept local contracts, regional contracts, and international contracts and event contracts, but I only allowed to handle them once. That includes the contract that you get like for loading into the airports. That also includes these contracts that you get. Well, I don't get them anymore, but that also includes these contracts that you get from leveling up the airport. So like this A320, I claimed it, I landed it, I canceled it. Oh yeah, that's what I can do. You know, we're almost at max level at Innsbruck. We got like 6 more levels to go. I'm still working on Bari. I'm actually pretty close. I'm like 2 levels to go for unlocking Prague. I wish I was able to unlock Prague like yesterday or the day before, because I think they had like a special plane arrival at Prague, which gave 1,000 silver planes, and I'm sad I missed it, because like I'm still at Innsbruck and Bari, where those 2 airports is kind of hard to get a lot of silver planes. Once you hit Prague and then of course IAD, it becomes a lot easier. So if you want to send me planes to this account, I recommend Bari, or maybe even wait until we unlock Prague. But you're also only allowed to send me 1 plane of each size. So one player can send me 1 plane of each size, which is A, B, C, and D. At Bari, only VIPs and only reliable contract partners can send me E planes. And additionally, you're also allowed to send me 1 B and 1 C cargo plane in addition to the passenger plane. So technically, you're allowed to send me 2 B and C planes at Bari. We'll probably do some similar rules at Prague. I'll be posting that in player news when we unlock it, so that way you guys can see. Player news, like, well, we're not gonna have it as limited as Bari, because Bari only has 3 E stands, so that's why we had to limit it. So that way we're not, I'm not overwhelmed by E planes. But yeah, that is Captain Phat for you. That is my PC account. Also, my players only challenge. We are leveling up pretty quickly, because once you start to get to the 10 out of 10 on the contracts, you get the maximum rewards, which is pretty nice, but you have to work your way there, which is pretty slow at first. But you get there, and when you get there, you get a lot of XP, you get some silver planes, and the levels come pretty quickly. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun, and I also like that it's on PC, because I could keep it open and still do other things on my PC. Unlike World of Airports on my iPad, well, we saw it on the iPad today. I was able to multitask, thankfully. Like, I could bring up Discord and stuff. But like playing World of Airports on tablets or on your iPhone, this is going to be one of the other things we talk about on my suggestion stream. But like, I wish there were ways that World of Airports didn't have to take my entire take priority on my device for all time. You know, it's like I'm surprised that my silver platinum out here, like these icons here, aren't burned into my iPad yet. You know, because I have this open on my iPad all day for so long. I'm just surprised it's not burned in. You know, so I do wish I could do other things with my iPad other than playing World of Airports. But we'll talk more about that after the 3.6 update or after the Zurich update comes out. We'll talk more about what I want to see, what you guys want to see. On the Phat Airlines Discord, we do have a suggestions channel. We have two suggestions channel. One is here, WoA suggestions. Go ahead and post your suggestions that you want me to share or to review for that stream. We also have another suggestions channel, which I'm not going to be talking about, and I don't even have it on my list. But we have another suggestion for Phat. That suggestion channel is if you guys want to see anything on stream or any changes to Discord or my website, things like that, you can share there. But guys, let me see here. DJ Bay says a body in motion tends to stay in motion. That's true. That's probably why I don't like sitting down anymore. It's pronounced like Rick rather than Rich if we're on the topic. The H is silence. Thank you guys. Remember when I was calling liveries, what was I calling them? Liveries? I don't know. I forget what I was calling them. You guys corrected me, and I'll take it, man. I take it. Unlike some people who just say it's funny how Americans or how foreigners can't say my words without. Well, actually, that person did try to tell me how to say certain words, but they weren't good at explaining it. So, is he still here? Yeah, he's still here. Good. Voitando can't load WoA on your second phone. My mic is not muted. Liveries, yeah, that's what I think I said, or something like that. Alrighty, guys, my mom has to go. She's setting up the church for Mother's Day tomorrow. All you American mothers, happy Mother's Day. Probably like two of you here. Well, two females here, and the likelihood that you're also a mother, who knows? But anyways, make sure you give some love to your mother, whether it's Mother's Day or not for you. Give some love to your mother. And I will see you guys next Saturday. Join the Phat Airlines Discord. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Have a great one, guys. Peace. Only American mothers.